Hello and welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to give an update of some panels I've been working on. What I did is I ended up ordering from this company, JLC PCB, some new PCBs. So we'll see how look at what they look like. So this is 10 boards for I think it came out to about $15 or $20 because they're an odd size board. If they're 100 centimeters by 100 millimeters, yeah, 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters, then it's $5 for 10 boards. But because this is 200 by about 71, it's a unique price, so it comes to about $20, but you get 10 boards. So the reason I made these boards was because if you recall my last panel, which the other panels which look like this, I used the Team Digital hardware. So the connectors are underneath, they're lined up like this, and then the wires are on there. So it's made for that Team Digital hardware. So, but this board, what happens is, you see, this is the new board because I'm testing out this other hardware from Molahem, the Swedish company. So they have their panel boards. So there's 16 inputs, which are screw types, and then it's a serial type output, and that goes to a daisy chain to these little boards here. Each board does 12 LEDs. So since I needed 32 LEDs, I just need one board actually, because this guy daisy chains up to 5 of these little boards, and they do 12, like I said, 12 each, so 64, so I can do, like, let's say 5 or 6 boards I can connect maximum. But the fact that I need 29 switches, and this guy only has 16 switches output, I need a second board. So I'm not using the LEDs on this board, but I am using the switches. So when I designed this board, like you can see here from the side, I made it that there's a connector, so the board just plugs into that connector, and same thing on the other side. Then I have a network cable that comes in here, a loconet connection, and then it comes out here, which then plugs into this guy, and then this guy daisy chains into this guy, and now I have a spare loconet here if I wanted to. And then these boards, like I said, these little boards, see, they're all connected, soldered through these pins. I had to sort of take the boards apart, but apparently you can order these boards without the connector, so you don't have to unsolder the existing connector that it comes with. So it comes to a nice little job, a nice little board, and it's about half the size, same length, but half the size. And the reason that it's half the size is because here in the yard you can see each LED, each track is on a different line, so it's a light and LED for each one of the yards. But the way I did it on this board here, it's gonna focus, is the whole bottom, it's all on one line. So this is the track J, which is this one down here, and then the two at this end here are the two at these end, and all the ones in the center are A through I. And then what I grouped up is, so like I have A to I, then I have my 3 tracks here, then another 3 tracks up here. These are this is a choice between this siding. This is another little yard. This is in the the helix, 1 track and the 2nd track. And these are the 2 tracks to go towards the top, and then here are my 3 choices. And then this is the spur to go to the end, which comes to like this one. See, this one is this one. These 3 here are these 3 here. These 3 tracks across here are those 3 up there. These 2 here are those 2. Those 2 are these 2 here. Here is the helix, as I said, and these 2 tracks here are those ones. So that's how that's all wired up. So that's one thing I did, and as you can see, again, the smarts is all in there. So if I, like for instance, if I take route A in the yard, the other, whatever was selected from A to I, since I only allow 1 to come up, the other light goes on. So now if I switch to, let's say, this track here, A goes off, that one comes on. But then if I go, let's say, this track, again, A goes off. But if I take one of the other 3 tracks here, yeah, this guy, see, these 3 goes up. One of these 3, because they're all related, but it has nothing to do with this one, so they don't go off. This one here, again, alternates between this one and this one. So that's all working.
One thing I wanted to point out is these switches.
They're like this. They're little 12. They're 12 millimeter. So these ones are 6 by 6, and obviously they're so small. There's no light built in the center. But this one, they're 12 by 12, and they have 4 pins, and then they have 2 LED. These 2 the pins on each end is for the LED. So that sits on top. So that's what's nice about it, is that the LED is built into it. Because originally on my other panel there, if you've seen some of my panels, I was using these switches, which I really like, but they're not like surface mount or whatever. It's made for a panel. So you know, once I get a panel like this done, you know, just holes and stuff like that, I could pop these guys in, and these, you know, what's neat is because the size is in between, you know, those small ones and the big ones, and there's a LED built in. So it's really nice. It's just, it becomes all, you know, you have to wire it up, as opposed to the, you know, the circuit boards like this here, you know, you would have to wire it up to the connectors and then the little boards and such. So there would be a whole bunch of loose wires. So this, the whole reason I'm going with the circuit board type thing is to really minimize the, you know, how much wires you actually have to add. So that's how that one works. Okay, so that's that panel. So